Won't you take me back to Tennessee?
The award-winning Tennessee WildCast is on the air with the latest info about hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. This episode is brought to you by GSM Outdoors, whose vision is to preserve the sportsman's legacy, fuel innovation, and enable the next generation of outdoor enthusiasts. Think outside. That's where you'll find us. Now, make welcome your host, Jason Harmon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee WildCast. We're glad you're tuning in. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. We got an awesome show lined up for you today. We got another GSM sponsor in the house.
GSM Outdoors.
Yeah, so I'm excited to dive in today. It's all about Cold Steel, a really cool brand of knife and that they have in their lineup of brands. And GSM's been a great partner this year. We appreciate them very much, and we're going to dive more into that today. But first, Don.
Yeah, how about a radio station?
Why not?
WJDT. They're over in Morristown, and they run Wildcast at 5:30 a.m. on Saturday. So we appreciate them very much, and I hear from them that there's also an opportunity for a cable channel to air the TV version. So
very cool.
Good for them for that.
That's good to hear. I was just in Morristown working on the new hunting guide that's coming out very soon, and so I drove by the radio station while I was up there.
Okay.
I pointed it out to my son. I said, "Look over there. We're on that station." And but anyway, we appreciate our radio partners.
Sure do.
They do great work for us, helping us spread the word of the outdoors in Tennessee. 30 plus stations across the state. You mentioned TV. We're on a few government TV channels.
Yeah.
And then we appreciate you guys out there listening and watching on the podcasting platforms, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you find us. We appreciate you very much. And I'll just remind everybody, if you want to get in on some of these prizes that we're going to be giving away from GSM Outdoors, always remember to subscribe, like, share our show. The more you engage with us, the more chance you have to win.
So like stuff in the ballot box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tag a friend. So if you tag a friend in the comments on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, that'll get your name in the hat and your friend's name in the hat. So, we're excited to give away products, and we're thankful for GSM Outdoors for being a part of that.
Some great stuff.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so today we have Keith Beam with us, and he is the Director of Product Innovation for GSM.
Yeah, I told him I like that title. Yeah.
How'd you get that title? Man,
I probably made it up. Hey, Mom, can I have a really cool title? Yeah. No, actually, I came from the archery industry, right? So I invented the hub style blinds with Brooks Johnson, and we did all that in 93, sold to Primos in 2007. So through that years, I've got quite a few patents in the archery industry. And, and actually, before I came on to GSM, I was with New Archery Products. I designed a couple new broadheads for them, and I came on board to them full time. And then GSM came in and acquired us, and I slid over there, and that was the title that was given to me.
Yeah, I like it. So, real quick, your background on innovation and building products and designing, how did that come about?
It actually started, I was working for W.W. Granger, and that's where I met Brooks Johnson, my business partner. We were both in the management program. I was in Nebraska, and you could kill 3 turkeys with your bow, and I was shooting a recurve back then, and I was trying to hide behind cottonwoods, and I was getting busted. So I built all the spring steel blinds back in like 1987 that you see, like the doghouse, the outhouse, all those things. Mm-hmm. I did all those way before they came out, and I was trying to figure out a way to conceal myself. And I went in, and I was complaining in an archery shop in Fort Collins, Colorado, Aerodynamics. And I was like, my blind's moving around and it's shifting and the wind's flapping, it's scaring these birds and stuff, and I just can't get drawn on them. And an old gentleman was there, and his name was Steve Stumbo. And he's like, I got something I want to show you. And I said, well, let me see it. And he goes out, and it was the hub, the one workings of a hub, the one wall. It had a wooden billet. It had 38 casings that had wooden dowels coming out of it. And it was a fabric blind, a hub, one wall. It had 2 windows in it. And he popped this open, and I said, I want to buy that. And he's like, well, it'd be like $180. It took me a long time to sew it. And I said, no, I want to buy the idea. And so we actually, the patent went through, and we actually acquired it. Brooks and I did. So back in 1995 was the first probably public release of the ground blinds. And so that hub style whole system that you see on everybody's got a hub style blind now, but that all became in 1995. It was a simple way to pop up, run and gun, and chase turkeys, and it gave all of us archery hunters finally that leg up. Now I didn't know how effective they were truly going to be. I think I was talking to Brian Lovett, or one of the biologists from the NWTF, and I was trying to explain that, you know, when I was down in college in Arkansas, you know, if you scratched a mosquito itch, you know, put, the tom was gone, you know. And now I'm getting away with murder in these things. and these birds are like rubbing up against the blinds. And he was telling me that there's a rod or a cone that's missing, that they don't see depth of field. So it's like looking at a photograph, and if something moved on that photograph, it'd catch your eye. Well, that started making sense to us. And as long as your blind didn't shine, you know, if you didn't make it out of nylon or anything like that, you know, we did polycotton canvas duck.
Okay.
And as long as it didn't shine or have any movement to it, it was golden. So that's what got the whole horsepower started. And then we had innovation after innovation, from chairs to bow holders to different systems to brush the blinds in, so on and so forth. So I've been trying to keep my mind sort of focused on things, but my mind has always been this guy that I can solve that problem. And it doesn't always make sense because I'm a terrible artist. So, like, if I sketched you something and I wanted you to make that, you'd be like, what is that? Stickman is a struggle for me. But in my brain, it's really pretty. But down here on paper, it's not something that it is. So I've just been doing that for a long time. I don't know. I think my name's on like 19 patents in this industry. So.
Wow. You changed the game in ground blind hunting. I mean, it's to get that close, and I mean, that's just a game changer.
Well, what's really great about it, and we didn't realize it at first, you know, we were using it for a tool for us to kill. And over the years, we owned it for 14 years, and then I was with Primos from 2007. They bought us in 2007 till 2015. That the amount of people that take newcomers, whether it be children, whether it be their wives, or their wives taking somebody, or their aunts, or their uncles, or their grandpa, and everybody can sit out there, get out of the elements, fidget around. You know, you finally got a kid that can play with little Tonka toys on the ground, and he's not getting busted by a turkey, and then they can stand up and watch the hunt develop. So it was actually really priceless as far as finding out how many people you actually helped in the industry. You know, one of the neatest things is United Foundation for Disabled Archers. So we sponsored their whole program, and you get to meet these vets, and you get to meet these people that are handicapped, that now they can wheel these out, drop a blind over their wheelchair, and they're killing turkeys, and they're killing deer, and they're killing bears. And it was great things like that that really made it very, very, very rewarding.
Definitely. Well, I won't tell you what brand I have because I actually don't even know, but I in a ground blind this past turkey season, and we had a hen come in on us right up on the blind, never saw us, didn't mind us being there, and it was a great hunt, just to be able to see and get that close. We didn't have any luck this year, but I mean, just to be that close to the animal is really cool. And then had deer come in behind us, and it's
really neat. You're kind of concealed where you actually think you're like hiding from something, It's kind of like this secret feeling, and it's one of the things like Will Primos and those guys, they shoot their turkeys at 40, 20, 30 yards with shotguns. And I think I was talking to you guys before the show that, we're getting so close when you're bow hunting them that you see their eyelids. You see that movement of their eyelids.
Yeah.
You're seeing that tom that's been running all day. He's gasping for air. I mean, he's breathing hard like a buck that's in rut, and you start witnessing that kind of stuff, and it's just priceless,
Yeah. Well, and you've killed what? You told us before the show, 143
birds with my bow.
Yeah.
I shot 50 of them in the head, both with the guillotine and the bullhead. I actually designed the bullhead for Magnus Archery. And I think still to this day, I'm the only person that shot the Grand Slam in the head on video in a single season.
Oh, wow.
So,
we need some of that footage.
Yes, it's the old stuff, too. It's like vintage.
Yeah.
I've been around a while. It's long before digital.
We won't have to add the grain. It's already there.
Yeah, right. 100%. It's a VHS tape.
What's that?
That's what my son said. You can't just digitally fast forward, Dad. Nope, we're going to go
slide the fader, Dad.
Right.
No, that's awesome. Well, we'll dive more into those products down the road. I think we're going to do some more shows on archery products and some blinds and things like that. But today is all about the cold steel knives. So let's dive into those and tell us a bit about what you brought, what they're going to be able to win, and I'm sure I'll have more questions on the products as we move along.
So we've got a neat little variety right here, and they go from kind of everything that was apocalyptic to the cold steel world is known for. Okay, there's a difference, and we'll talk about SOG and we'll talk about cold steel. Cold steel is like the zombie attack defense system. Here we go. All right. Lynn Thompson started that company 40 years ago, and he did a fantastic job following the country's footsteps. So, like if it's a Filipino bolo knife, it's done in the Philippines. Okay. And they're made one at a time, so on and so forth. So it has a lot of history. They're relics. They're reproductions, but they're working reproductions. You can cut cars and hogs in half with these things, and we do that all the time.
Wow.
So I've got everything from like his Spartan, which is just a really tough self-defense type everyday carry, all the way up to just a great hunting knife that's made in America here in the Republic. So it's a neat company. I've got to be the face of it for the last 4 years, and that's been a struggle. I think we were talking about that earlier. Yeah. So I get the call. Can I tell the story?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I get the call that says, "Hey, Keith, we just bought Cold Steel, and you do all of our videos and audio visual for all these other brands. Why don't you just go in your backyard and welcome everybody from Cold Steel to GSM's umbrella?"
Yeah,
Okay?
sure.
And we came up with this idea that I would ask for 2 discontinued models and put those in the comment line, and the top 2 we'll bring those back. All right, so this is going to be kind of a easy way for me just to delve into this cold steel world.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm thinking this is great.
And they'll welcome you in because you're going to bring 2 back.
I'm gonna give some brand new stuff. I'm bringing stuff back.
Heritage.
Yeah. I'm the winner of this. No, wrong. So I go out back, and there's snow on the ground, and I think I had a black GSM t-shirt or a polo on, and I had a birch stick in my hand. I didn't have a cold steel knife. I didn't own a cold steel knife. I've hunted for 30 years with a Wayne Depperschmidt little custom knife, and now I'm in this cold steel face. And I'm like, guys, I just want to welcome you to the GSM fold. We're not going to change anything. Everything's going to stay the same. We're using the same manufacturers, same facilities, everything. We're just giving Lynn his payout for 40 years of great hard work.
Yeah.
So this is my tribute to him. And I'm like, yeah, I tell you what, I want you to go down the comment line and you put your 2 favorite knives that they discontinued, and we're going to bring them back. And in 5 hours, I think I had 47,000 views and like 2,700 comments. And you think that there would be all these like super positive things. And in my world, in the archery world, when you develop something, it was always kind of very well received. You'd have some skeptics or sometimes, people that question things that we came up with.
Definitely.
But I had 7 death threats. And it was like,
my.
if you think you're replacing Lynn Thompson, I'm coming to your house and slicing you in half with a katana. And I'm like, good Lord, I'm just doing a job. I'm welcoming you. And no, I had 7 death threats. So I did this thing with the stick, right? So then it became, and then there was like, it probably was 50 to 100 comments of, what's up with the stick? What is a stick boy? Hey, stick dude, why do you got a stick in your hand? Where's your knife, stick? And it just went on and on. So I did the next video, and I decided I got a cold steel fillet knife in, one of our kitchen cutleries. And I'm going to peel the skin off of this salmon while I'm doing this talk. So I feel good now. I don't have a stick in my hand, right? So I'm flaying this. I got a cold steel product. I'm like, hey, I want to announce the winners. It's the Tall Warren. It's the Holdout. Guys, thanks for all the comments. Thanks for watching this, blah, blah, blah. I'm doing this. And it was like, boom, it just blew up. And it was like, where's the stick, dude? Where's the stick?
They missed the stick.
Where's the stick? So it was like 100 comments of where's the stick. So Lynn, I go out and train with Lynn, and I would go out to California. Probably 5 times I've been out there, and we've cut together and worked with his martial artists and stuff like that. And I'm not a martial artist. I played pro baseball. I was a college baseball player. I'm athletic, but I'm not a martial artist. And those guys are, okay, and true martial artists. So I would go out there and train with, well, Lynn has this blackthorn staff is one of our products that we sell. It's out of an unbreakable polystyrene or whatever. And he actually anoints me like I'm a knight. Like, if you're going to be called Stick Man, you got to get rid of the birch and you have to have this. And he's like, you are now the Stick Man. And I'm like, oh God, I'm always known as Beamer. You know, my whole life I've been Beamer. And it was kind of a tough namesake to swallow until I was throwing knives with my son. My son was out filming. At the time, he was like 15. And I'm throwing these folding knives, which I get in trouble for all the time, throwing them. And boom, it stuck perfectly. And my son looks at it and goes, because it sticks, man. And I'm like, ooh, now I like that. Now I don't mind being Stick Man, because it's not just a stick. It's because I throw things and they stick. So that's how that whole got started with Cold Steel. And since then...
Welcome to the brand. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a different brand. It's a family. And it's a family of people that really cherish great quality. They worship Lynn. Okay, so that's, and I'm not here to replace him.
Right.
And Lynn and I have developed a great rapport. I have a ton of respect for that. You know, I own Double Bull Archery. I know what it's like to grow a business. Then you sell it and you hope that next company does well with it.
Yeah.
And we've made certain that we have. You know, we've done some stuff that probably wasn't to Lynn's liking, but for the most part, we have done things I think Lynn is really proud of. And Lynn has always welcomed me out there to train with him, to keep him involved, and it's fun, and he is a tiger. I turned 60 next week, and I don't know Lynn's age, but he probably pound for pound is one of the meanest, toughest people, and I think he's in his 75s and up, but I can't be for certain on that because he won't tell me. But as far as an hombre, he calls himself T-Rex. He says, I got short arms, but I'm dangerous. Yeah, that's his nickname for himself. So it's been good. No, what we've got, you know, in Cold Steel is really neat. You got hunting, you got kitchen cutlery, you've got I want to say tactical, the lines with the Tanto knives, with the American Tanto tip and stuff like that. People will either say or won't say that Lynn actually developed the American Tanto tip, which is great for penetration, for plunging. You have, of course, the whole historian lines. You had guys like Luke LaFontaine that worked for Lynn. Luke does all these movies, but he is a sword martial art historian.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
There's a lot of respect and a lot of great replication that matched those days in past. And it's a really cool company because if you look at, I don't know how many SKUs are, there's got to be 700 of them. You've got everything from a great little everyday carry to when the zombie apocalypse hits, these guys are ready, you know. And it's really funny because I'm going to switch over to SOG, just a quick incident. One of my dearest friends just retired from, he was a Green Beret. And so I'm showing him all this Cold Steel stuff, and he's laughing. He's like, what is this with a 10-inch blade and this and this? And I'm like, well, that's like the tactical stuff. He's like, no, I don't want to stab through this arm and into my gut. So he said, we don't know. So you get this side that's dealt with this stuff on the tactical side. God bless all of our armed forces and all of our service people. And Memorial Day just passed, and I just want to say thank you to them. But it's really interesting to see Lynn's side of this massive defense, waiting for the zombie killers, and then you have this over here, which is your true military. And it's really a great breadth of diversity when it comes to that. And Lynn covers all that. I mean, and Cold Steel covers that, and that's what's so cool about it. It's been fun because about the time that you go, another everyday carry, another, we'll come out with something that is like, wow. Or we'll bring something back that's wow. And I've got one, we're going to give it away. It's the Hatamoto. Lynn actually came out with this series probably 15 years ago. It was called the 60 series. And these are special spectacles brought back with a lot of modern traits to them. I'll pull this open.
Hold it up about mic height there, and it'll be on camera.
Okay, we'll do that. That's this unit right here. I don't know which camera. I'll pass that around like this to you guys. But So instead of like polished aluminum bolsters and the kind of stuff that they had back then, now you have this really, really nice rough carbon, great grip. All the hardware is underneath everything, so nothing is sticking out like a boulder, a knife, a nut or anything like that. And then you've got these polished bolsters. That's a G10 handle on it, 20 CV steel, which is a great steel. And it's got kind of a adapted tanto tip here with double angle on this, but that's one of those things that you bring back and you modernize, and it makes for a beautiful, classy, everyday carry.
Yeah,
I mean, this thing will protect your life no matter what.
Definitely.
But on that same token, when you're at dinner with your buddies, you don't necessarily want to whip out like, here you go ahead, cut your butter with this thing. It's a 14-inch spotter or something like that, and you're like, yeah. So no, it's been really, really cool. It has. It's been fun. So I've got just a great hunting knife, Republic. I've got gun sight, the Spartan, which I was talking about, the Hatamoto. I'm doing nothing but talking.
No, you're good, man. This is what the folks want to hear.
So this is a great handle.
Wow, that looks deadly.
This is an operator right here, and these are the things that Lynn was really good at, is figuring out what worked best. And he had some great designers with him. Andrew Demko actually designed this triad lock system, which has been tested to, I want to say, 790 pounds, 1,200 pounds.
Wow.
This one here has the serrated blade, and there's an interesting story behind that serration. Lynn always talked about a fixed blade knife with just a straight, flat grind or whatever on it will get dull. Okay, you're going to have to touch it back up, but a serrated edge always has one last cut in it. So if you were cutting rope, you can always find part of that will bite and tear open. And of course, Lynn's defense, I don't know how much I can really talk about. You guys probably want to edit this, but Lynn loves the serration for the simple fact, if you were to have to defend yourself, striking down with a guy with clothes on, this will bite right through clothes. Where, a lot of times a knife will skip off your arm or whatever. You see that in Hollywood, they wrap something around their arm or a phone book or whatever, to keep people from. But a serrated will bite, and it just chews its way in. So
that's a cool design with that handle and everything. I mean, it's just an amazing knife.
Yeah, this is a workhorse here.
Yeah.
A lot of these from Cold Steel are. So I'm going to pause and let you figure out the next question.
Well, no,
I got to breathe.
I'm just thinking about.
What comes to mind is where you can get these things too. And I know in Tennessee,
Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Yeah. I mean, a great customer of ours, and what a store they have.
Oh man.
The way they've got
never
it
ending.
It is. It's never ending, and it's brand specific. It's not a mix and match. So if you are a fan of something, or you wanted to see something different from a different brand, it's very easy to look around and go, "Hey, I'm going to go over there and check Sog out, or I'm going to go check Camillus out," or they're all kind of laid out that way, and it's a tour in itself.
It really is.
It's fascinating.
Well, and then the relic room and all the mounts and things that they have going on. It's almost a tourist attraction. You can spend all day there and check it all out, and then go home with some really cool knives.
It is.
But a lot of the GSM products are sold there,
yes,
right? Yeah.
Thank you to those guys. I tip my hat to them. Greatly appreciate Smoky Mountain Knife Works.
Yeah.
No, that's a great feature. I appreciate you bringing that up.
Well, and one other thing I want to make sure we touch on, and you mentioned it before we started, was the audience for this brand is not just the United States. You got people from all over that love this brand, are dedicated to this brand.
100%, and they are diehards, and it's kind of a neat thing. If you looked at SOG's demographics off of the analytics of our pages there, or Camillus, or any of our other brands, you're going to see it's a majority of United States of America, or maybe Canada at it. This is a giant amount that's in Ukraine and Russia and different places that you were like, wow, I didn't realize that. And I think that's where you really see a great base of loyalty to Lynn, because he's been around to all those places.
Right,
I mean,
right.
We've got the Hungarian saber sword, and him and Luc Lafontaine, the sword historian, went over there and made sure that they built this new saber sword that we have to their specs, to their liking, to that place. So when you start talking about that, well, then Lynn does have this following. He has this worldwide following,
definitely,
and he's known for it. And he's a very good demonstrator, very good person to present how well things work, and he can swing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, before we run out of time, I want you to highlight which knives we're going to give away. You got a fixed blade there that we hadn't really talked much about, but which knives are we giving away? And
let's do this.
Remind folks how to win.
This is the Republic right here. It's all made in Wisconsin. The sheath might be made in Michigan, but I think it's all made in Wisconsin. I'm almost certain of this. There is a very, very neat thing hidden underneath the scales on the handle. It is the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's engraved on the full tang on that knife there. A great leather sheath. It's sharp. It's got great jimping down the top of the blade, which allows you to do a lot more detail work. It's like a perfect hunting size, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of blades that have a little bit more swoop rather than bite. I do a lot of hunting, and this is the one that I carry. This is the Raja 3. This unit here, as you take a look at that, in my opinion, I've got my deer dressed and I'm going to skin it out now. I love that kind of curvature, that kukri type curvature in that blade.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to dash, holes in the hide as I skin it out.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of that. So we're going to do the Republic. We are going to do the Spartan.
Okay.
Again, with the kukri style type blade on there with the serration, the triad lock system. I will show you one thing about this, and I will have to probably do a cutaway to it. This has this patented pocket catch. And Andrew Demko, who worked with Lynn and still does knives, had this on there so that you catch in your pocket and you can deploy it with one hand.
Oh, wow.
So quite a few of the cold steel knives do have the Demko pocket catch on it. That's this unit right here. And it's a great way to deploy it. It's nice even if you're cutting open boxes. Mm-hmm. Okay, you might have something in your hand and you got to slice open a box.
Many times I'm one-handed pulling my knife out because I got the other thing in my other hand.
Yeah. That's exactly it. And I've destroyed the nerves in my arm and my hand so bad that I'm left-handed that the bottom three fingers I have no feeling. Mm. So you get all these guys at these blade shows and stuff that we've just got done doing, and you can snap open the knife. I can't. I need my pocket thing. Oh, yeah. So it's a good line. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I got to say about cold steel.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great product. Just hands-on right here, feeling the knives, seeing them. It's an awesome product. So I look forward to giving it away. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Remind people to subscribe, like, share. When you make a comment, make sure you tag a friend so other folks can get their name in the hat, or just comment if you want to be the winner.
Yeah, exactly.
No, share this with your friends. They want to hear about it as well. And we're going to give away some cool products, and I'm excited about this giveaway. But Keith, we're going to bring you back. We've got some more products to talk about for future shows, and like we said, the archery stuff coming down the road. So look forward to more conversations with you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Keith. Appreciate it.
Yeah. This is Tennessee WildCast. We appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thank you to GSM Outdoors for being a partner with us this year, and we'll see you next time.
Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org. And follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram. You can invest in Tennessee's wildlife future by purchasing a license at GoOutdoorsTennessee.com. That's GoOutdoorsTennessee.com.